This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian.
Mission 215.
Welcome to the Mission 250 Filmcast, where we are watching every movie on the top 250 movies of all time list, according to IMDb, whether we want to or not. I don't know about you guys, but I'm one of your hosts, Denny, and joining me are
John.
And TC.
And TC, would you want to describe what we do on this podcast each week?
Sure. We froze the top 250 list in time. We're going backwards from 250 to 1. That's the IMDb top 250 list. Yeah, we basically review the movie that we watched. Then he has some trivia to talk about because he watches all the commentaries.
Indeed.
Or whatever sequels there might be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. John is typically sick, so he's usually coming in sick.
What was that? Was that a little cough there, John? Did you do a little cough for example?
There's a little sample there. Yeah, there's a little taste for you.
It's a wonder how he gets through the week.
It is.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Oh, drugs.
And then basically that's about it. I mean, just we try and have as much fun as possible. Even, most of the time I'm negative as hell. And these two are good at being positive.
Yeah.
So, go.
Yeah.
That might misrepresent this episode, but this week we are watching number 171, which is the 2003 movie Kill Bill Volume 1, directed by Quentin Tarantino. The synopsis is: the bride awakens from a 4-year coma. The child she carried in her womb is gone. Now she must wreak vengeance on a team of assassins who betrayed her. A team she once... Why can't I read the sentence? A team she was once part of.
Because you're not very
She was
smart.
once. She was once.
I couldn't read
That's a
that
tough
last
one.
week.
That's a little bit of a
I can't
tongue
read it
twister.
now.
Yeah.
A team she was once part of. God, that's not a hard sentence. I think it's because it
team
gets
she was-
split.
no.
It seems kind of hard.
Team She is kind of different. Team She is weird.
A team
Yeah.
she was once
Yeah.
part
Team she
of.
once was.
Okay. This
Team She wants.
this is the podcast where we dissect sentences one by one
Yeah.
that we can't
Yeah.
read fast.
Sometimes reading's hard.
Yeah. But so this week, John, it is your turn to review this magical Quentin Tarantino, Harvey Weinstein
Before you go,
collaboration.
John, I cannot
Oh.
imagine you enjoying this very much.
Me? Yeah.
Did you even watch it?
How open were your eyes for this movie?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You know what?
There
You know
go,
what
what
I
was
did?
getting.
I sat on my hands just for you guys.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
That's right. I said this whole film is all about the action, so you shouldn't miss the action, you idiot. So I sat on my
Wow,
hands
really?
and tried to keep my eyes open.
Good for you. Well, tried. The word tried there. What does that mean?
No, I didn't.
Well,
I didn't
yeah,
actually.
right. That implies it didn't happen all the time.
They don't show a whole lot of. I don't think there's a ton of graphic violence.
What?
I mean,
What?
Is it like the?
What movie did you
Wait,
watch?
did you have your
I
eyes
know.
closed the entire time and you're just guessing
Yeah.
what the movie is?
Maybe I'm. Yeah. What? Yellow jumpsuit, black stripe. Right. That's the one,
Motorcycle,
right?
and then the movie ends, I think.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, it moves fast. It doesn't linger on it anyway. I don't think too much. I don't know. But
You're crazy. You don't even you don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, go for it.
Yeah,
I
we
have
can
just
talk
agreement.
about it. I don't know. I just I have mixed feelings about the film. I really like Quentin Tarantino's films, and we can also talk about the Weinstein stuff afterwards for fun.
Can't wait.
And giggles. Yeah, I know. But I like his films not for the action as much as like the characters and the dialogue. And this film is really much more, I think, and this is what Quentin says he wanted. He wanted to like test his mettle as an action director. And I think that this is like an homage to revenge flicks that I think that he loves. And while a lot of this is spectacular, the action scenes are spectacular. Uma Thurman is really amazing to watch as sort of the action star. She does a fantastic job. And I think though the problem for me is just like, other than the action, the story it's all just contrived to be action. That's what you should just sit back and be happy with. But the contrivance of the story, where it's like just a revenge plot, which I'm not big on revenge movies. So you got to get into that. You got to enjoy that revenge. But it also seems so sadistic at times. That's kind of like, I don't know. I don't find that entertaining. I don't find the idea of coma rape entertaining at all. So
I'm nodding my head this entire time, John.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
All right. So I didn't know where you guys are.
Yeah.
You're giving me the Denny treatment,
Yeah.
the quiet treatment. So while I think like the sword fight scenes are awesome, the whole scene where she takes on the 88, all of that whole thing is just great. And Lucy Liu is awesome as, most of these, her counterparts are really interesting to watch. The scene where she's fighting the mom, but the mom has a daughter and how that sort of like juxtaposes itself. what was, again, when they start talking, it's also pretty fun. But again, the whole motivation of the movie, which you don't even understand probably until volume 2. And Denny, you watched 2. I watched 2 a long time ago. But I
they
don't
tell
even,
you whether or not it makes sense. It's, it's up to how much you want to believe the weird crap that goes into this movie.
Right. So with volume 1, you don't even really get, all you know is that she was going to get married, the kid is Bill's, and she was killed. And you don't really know anything
Wait,
else.
she wasn't killed. What does she know? She survived the bullet.
Right, exactly. Or the kid was killed. But no, the kid survived too, right? But anyway, so that's all you know. You don't even know the motivation for the killing or anything like that. So it's really, you're not even given an understanding as to what the bad guys have done or why they did it. So you don't even know if they are evil or what, and they were just all these, I don't know. So if you want to like get into the characters, there's nothing there, I don't think. And that's okay. It's still like amazing to watch and amazing scenes and you can see like some amazing action sequences. And if you're just in it for that, that's really cool. But I just sort of like, there's some really wrong notes in the sense of like, why do you have to just be so disgusting sometimes? Like, what's the point of that? Why do you want to go there? It's like, I don't get it. Like, it's like, I don't understand what purpose it serves other than that's just a little bit of a reflection of Tarantino's sick mind, just sort of enjoying the hell out of himself.
And this is coming from the person, in case you don't listen to other episodes, John does not watch violent parts of any of the movies that we watch.
Never.
So, I mean, you're a little bit, biased in
I get
liking this sort of thing.
Not just violence, but sort of action movies. I get kind of tired of quickly. Things happen fast. Your eyes move around, then you get sleepy. I don't know.
How old are you?
Yeah,
I am an old man. I am a total old man. But I enjoyed the action sequences. I mean, this is really well done stuff. I think that's what Quentin was really wanting to do, was have these like really awesome fights and awesome fight scenes, basically. Mostly with swords. And a lot of acrobatics and so forth, and pull off like martial arts type stuff. And he does it really well, and Uma Thurman does it really well. I wonder, like, she plays the part scared and nervous sort of when she's fighting. I think it might have been more cool if she was calm, kind of Clint Eastwoody, as like her counterparts are usually more calm, like Lucy Liu. But it's just a suggestion. I don't know. I still liked how she did it. I just don't know if what you want to go for is this kind of cool factor, then maybe that would have made the film seem like more popcorn. But I think it could have been much. I don't know. You could have made this film much more fun. Just have like, the evil people have some nefarious plan to take over the world or something sinister. Have that be the plot, right? Like where it's just kind of fun and you get behind it easily.
Where were you in the screen rewrites?
Yeah,
right. You should have been in the room.
Yeah, rewrites. Like if you want to just have fun and make an action flick, then just make it something that's really easy to get behind and not have to think about. But why have it be dark? And
he's a sick man.
So, yeah, I don't know. But so that, when I think about that, and I think the other thing that is weird for me is normally I really like Tarantino's music, the choices they make. And for some reason, a lot of the music in this I found irritating. Yeah.
What is that? Stop it.
There's like that guitar strum one that's pretty cool. That with the horns at the beat. That's kind of like the Kill Bill theme.
Oh yeah,
that's a pretty good one. But other than that, I'm like most of the time not enjoying the music either. And I had headphones on for this one because I went upstairs. Was like, no way. There's no way the kids are around. Yeah, I'm not even letting the baby in the same room as this thing's playing.
There's not 1 second of this movie that's appropriate for a child.
Exactly. But so I had headphones on, so I had a really good sense of the soundtrack and everything, and it was not very. I didn't find it very pleasant. And I may have been I don't know. There was a ton of different music used. Maybe they were old selections from old revenge films. I don't know. Maybe that's why they seemed weird to me. But anyway,
the whistling is annoying. I thought that.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know what they're going for. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Where are you, TC? You said last week that you liked it.
I'm going to preface it.
Okay.
So what's this? We watched this last week. We're a little bit behind because typically we have technical difficulties, right?
Yeah.
Just like speaking. Yeah. Yep. So we missed a couple, and I watched this on a weekend where I was having a really shitty weekend. I won't elaborate, but it was fucking terrible. And I put this on Saturday, trying to like, all right, I'm going to not think. I'm just going to put on this movie. I got about 20 minutes in before I was like, all right, I can't take it. I can't take any more of the world being shitty. I can't take people being shitty. I can't take it. I shut it off. And I came back
Nice.
to it like I was going to watch it Sunday, and then I think something happened with the cancer. And I'm like, nice. I don't even have to watch it today, And I got through the weekend, started work, got distracted from that, and then I put it on like I guess maybe Monday. I don't remember, but I finished watching it. I just you just don't feel good after watching this one.
No.
I'm in agreement with John. It is a hell of a coordinated film. It's just kind of crazy, some of those sword fight stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was really, I thought, John, it was bloody as hell. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
when they cut the arm off and it just sprays all over the place. I mean, Jesus Christ. I was,
that one.
that was like, I was like, I forgot about this part. How did I forget about this part?
You're right.
Because
you're
the
right.
entire
They're
movie is
just
like that.
screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn it.
Yeah.
It didn't. It almost. I don't know. Yeah.
People are slipping
you're right.
around in the blood afterwards because she's just
Right,
bleeding
right.
for like
Yeah.
10 minutes.
There's like blood pools,
Yeah.
and she's sitting there. Yeah. Okay, you're right. Yeah.
I think what
I watched
forgot.
it though. I did watch it. I want you to
Oh,
know.
that's
I
good.
saw
He
it
was
happen.
blacked out for the entire
Yeah,
part.
right.
Maybe I did. Maybe
Turns
I
out he
was
doesn't
like,
even need to use his
it was
hands. He
fine.
can just not
Everything
think.
was. Yeah, I
Black
just went
out.
into
Yeah.
like a fugue state where I was just like there sitting on my hands, going, "Oh God," and then I just
Yeah,
blacked
so
out.
I think what happened to me too is that I've seen the rest of them, and I kind of forgot where the story started.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So like when you said Kill Bill, I had been thinking about like the other movies,
There's just one
and
other
I was like,
one.
oh right, this is so the second one,
Yeah.
whatever. But I was like, oh yeah, this is what happened in the first one. I don't know. I didn't dislike it. I just wasn't in a good place, so I couldn't
remember
watch it.
really, really wanting to like this when this came out, like right after Jackie Brown, right? So
Not right
he
after,
had
but it was like the
was
next
it- but
one.
that was his next one, right?
Yeah.
So he had Reservoir Dogs and he had Pulp Fiction and he had Jackie Brown, and I thought all of those were great.
Yes.
And
Jackie
I
Brown
was
not on the
really-
list for some stupid reason.
Yeah, I don't know that one. Yeah, I really like.
I mean, I don't trust these IMDb users. I'm just gonna throw that out.
No, faith
I-
gone.
I don't like them. I never was one of them, and I don't think I'll ever be.
Yeah. Well, I can't argue. I used to rate things on IMDb back when I was in college, and I thought that someone would
So
one
there's
day
your
look.
case in point.
Yeah.
Case in point. I
Mhm.
used to do this back 10 years ago.
I might
Yeah.
have given this one a higher mark than when I first saw it. I think maybe just because of inertia with Quentin, and I was like, okay, all right, sure, I'll go with this. I'll try. I don't know, but I mean, it's certainly like as TC said, it's very well crafted, right? So
Yeah, it was well
yeah.
coordinated. I have to say. I mean, it doesn't seem like they wasted any of the frame. They used up all of it in all the action sequences,
Yeah.
which is probably why you get sleepy, John.
maybe.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't dislike it. I thought I don't know. Maybe if I was in a different headspace, as they say, I might enjoy it better. But
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, John. When you said, the train was rolling for this movie, I saw this is one of 3 movies I spent money to watch in college. So that's kind of special to me. Like I saw Sin City and I saw the original one, and then this movie in the theaters.
nice.
Spent my money I didn't have to go see it. I loved Quentin Tarantino. Everyone said that Quentin Tarantino was supposed to be the best. So I believe, college student. I
And,
was like,
and
yeah,
this
of
was
course,
like
I
his
want to be.
passion project.
Right.
This is like Quentin gets to make whatever he wants to make now, right?
Yeah. So I think I've been fighting. I've been lying to myself that I like this movie for like 15 years or whatever it is.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't think I like it, and I agree with
Do you
everything
think
said,
it's
John.
a difference in your age versus when you saw it?
I couldn't explain why I didn't like it because
Yeah, I
it's
don't
like
know.
this is bloody. It's Tarantino. It's really weird. It's very unique. I think it is just because it makes you feel bad the entire time you watch
Yeah.
it.
It does.
And it starts off with like the most disgusting scene where the buck who likes to fuck and like the Vaseline
Ugh,
jar, the close up in the Vaseline jar.
I mean,
It's just it's not fun. Like I like horror movies and I like disgusting horror movies, but that's not fun.
that's a different kind of disgusting.
Yeah,
That's a
and
Weinstein
I don't
disgusting.
like it. Right, and that's it's
Oh,
kind of
well.
weird.
And then hence the movie.
Yes.
Oh, they're fucking loving it. They're over
Yeah.
there watching it in the other room,
Can you put some pubes on the outside of the Vaseline
Yeah,
to
you
make
put
it
the-
nice
yeah,
and
there you go.
gross?
There you go.
Oh.
Fucking nasty. It's just evolved fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yep.
that's what this movie is. It's disgusting. I think a lot of the problems I have with it too was that the dialogue is crap, the storyline is crap, it doesn't matter, and it's boring. Any scene where they're not fighting, I thought was really bad, and it's weird too because like a lot of them are really good actors, and there are some scenes
Yep.
where their job acting is really good, but then some of the scenes are like the direction was try to make it as bad as possible. Like, why the hell would you do that? Like,
Right,
pay
right,
homage
because-
or whatever to the older types of movies, but it's
Like
bad.
exploitation or grindhouse flicks or whatever. That's what he's trying to do. But Yeah,
It's bad.
that was sort of the idea. Exactly. Yeah, that it was bad and the music was bad, like pew beep pew beep.
Oh my
That's
God,
like-
that was. I was just about to bring that up, John. I'm glad you
Yeah.
did. I mean, that was the most annoying thing I heard the whole movie.
Yeah. It happened like 5 times too. Yeah.
Every time they had a thought, it was like, geez, stop that. And it just had piercing
Yeah.
Yeah.
sound.
It was so loud compared to the rest of the volume too. Like
It was, yeah,
Ugh.
on purpose, I'm sure.
Yes.
For some intention.
Yeah.
But it didn't go over for our old guys.
Back before digital audio mixing, it was harder to get the things to sound right. So we tried to show that in over, putting the volume too high for that song. Damn it,
Oh.
Tarantino. You love old crappy things too much.
You
Your
and your
parents did not love you.
Authenticity, yeah.
Wow.
They just
Call
set
out,
him.
calling him out.
Yeah.
Denny, calling him out.
Dude, I just imagine Tarantino, like the scene from Pulp Fiction where that kid is sitting in front of the TV. He's all by himself and just 2 feet away. That's what I think Tarantino's childhood is. In my head, I don't know if that's
Maybe,
true or not.
possibly.
But
Yeah.
yeah. But he seems to like all these crappy movies. And for some reason, people think he's a genius. And it's just like,
And Denny no longer does.
well, it's tough because I love a lot.
I
Like,
still, Inglorious Bastards is still really
That's a
amazing.
great one.
yeah, Pulp
Yeah,
Fiction,
and
Reservoir
we
Dogs,
we had
Jackie
to watch
Brown.
that one. Yeah, yeah. I maybe there's some. Maybe he's in some projects where somebody tempers him a little bit. Like I don't know, like an editor or a cinematographer. I don't know. Maybe there or the writers. I don't know if he has projects where there's somebody there to kind of balance him. But yeah, maybe. And I don't know. I mean, Uma Thurman had a lot in writing this. They credit the character as between Uma and Tarantino. So maybe we shouldn't blame Tarantino entirely for this. for
Yeah.
what it is. I don't know.
I had a nickname for you, John. I wrote it down during your talking. You're the you have a very keen sense of contrivance detection. You notice that? You're always on the lookout for something that's contrived, and then when you find it, you let us know.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, you're very well, worded or whatever. So I'm not.
I'm worded.
Very well worded. That's not a thing. Not a word either, pal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think a big issue too with this, why this movie makes you feel bad, is because it feels empty. A lot of the scenes, there's a lot of extras, but the world doesn't feel alive. Like if you think about any scene, like in the hospital, the only people that are in the scene are the people written to be in the scene. When you're at the
Right.
the church, it's the same thing. When you're at the sushi restaurant, it's the same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Wherever you go, it's only the characters that have the dumb, like for whatever reason, the dialogue is bad in this one, I think. But it just seems empty. There's no background. It just seems isolated and it doesn't seem like a real place. And the fact that like she lives through a bullet in the head without like any type of real explanation, it doesn't seem like a real movie. Like none of it seems real. And
So
it's
they're
really
like
hard.
just little bits and pieces to get to the next action scene.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't like the only good action scene I thought was the last one. I didn't like the knife fight one. And it could just be because I think it's gross. They're too sweaty. I don't like looking at it. It's just like,
Oh.
it's disgusting. And then the whole thing where she's like nice to the daughter after killing her mom. Like, that's so
Oh
stupid.
yeah, what is that? Walk
Yeah.
out already,
Yeah.
would you? I know.
And if you ever want to get revenge on me, it's supposed to be like this, like, I don't know, like
Like
kung fu type of
badass
like,
type
you know,
thing. Yeah.
Buddhist, like I am one with the death or whatever. But it just comes off
And
as,
like, I know I need to atone for my current sins,
yeah,
and you will be the one to atone.
yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah,
Whatever.
I just pretty much generally dislike everything about this movie except for the very last fight scene.
I like the kitchen fight scene. I thought I was engaged in it. I thought it was really interesting.
Coffee cup to the head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked the one with the battle royale girl.
Oh yeah, that's
One where
yeah.
she's-
With the ball with
she's-
the saw
Yeah,
on
the
it.
ball and chain.
Yeah.
Whew.
Oh yeah.
Girl's awesome.
Yep.
On screen.
Yeah, that was probably the best part of that scene. Better than
She was
the,
awesome in battle royale.
Yeah, that's why she was
like
cast in this.
just absolutely menacing. In
Yeah.
that movie.
Oh really? I haven't seen that one.
Oh boy, she's
They're-
brutal.
Two people that were from Battle Royale in this movie, and Tarantino cast them because he liked Battle Royale so much.
Ah, makes sense. John, don't watch battle royale. Do
Well,
not watch battle royale.
isn't it? It's like a bunch of kids are on an island. They all have to kill each other.
It's the
kind of
R-rated
thing.
good version of Hunger Games, pretty much.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and it's absolutely vicious.
Yeah. You should watch it. Sit on your
I
hands.
know you. No,
watch
no,
Battle
no,
Royale.
no. Don't bother. Do not bother.
The movie was only
Do
3
not
minutes long. John, you just black out during violent parts. Oh,
Yeah.
It seemed a little short, guys.
Yeah.
a little bit on the short side. It's pretty good though. Yeah.
He's like, all he remembers is to the end of the bus.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Yeah. Anyways.
So like that beginning intro thing, that also just makes me feel bad. It's like, oh, this is going to be a crappy movie. This is what crappy movies started with. That like
Right.
the crappy music, the crappy feature presentation. I don't know who
Yeah.
likes that. I don't understand it. Why you would do that?
It might have been just on the cusp of not being cool when this came out, though.
Yeah, so it still was.
Yeah, right.
What
Right,
changed?
it was still rated. It was reviewed well, I think.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the movies made a lot of money.
Yep.
They like performed well.
90% of people who watched it walking out of the theater said they'd want to watch the second one. So that's
Yeah.
good, positive audience
Well, yeah, because you don't
reactions.
learn anything in the first one.
Right, who's Bill? Whose hand is that?
There were some neat parts of the animation sequence I thought were interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where she's under the
um,
bed and
I think at the time I
blood
hadn't
comes
really
through.
seen. Yeah, I'd never seen any anime before when I watched it the first time. So it was like that was like a completely new style to me.
Hmm.
It is
Interesting.
animated well, but the story there pisses me off.
Well,
Does
yeah,
it?
there's-
Yeah, just because it's like, oh, let's watch a little girl watch her parents die, and then there's like a pedophile involved, and there's just a bunch of swords, like death, and it's just ugly.
yeah. It's all. I mean, you're right. It doesn't make you feel good after that
No.
one either.
Like, what's the
Yeah, I
John?
agree.
Like, what is the point? Why am I watching this?
Yeah.
Right. Well, you're watching it because it's to be like an action film, but then why? Yeah, what's the motivation of putting all this other stuff in that's so dark and not almost? It's dark, but presented as if it's supposed to be entertaining or funny or what? I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
No, you're supposed to be like, how cool is Tarantino? Oh, he's so cool.
he's
This
so
movie
edgy,
makes me feel like
or-
Tarantino is cool. I think that's what he's going for.
Maybe I don't know.
If you
I
read,
don't know.
dude, even so, we all like Ebert, right?
Yeah,
I mean, respect them.
Respect him. His review on this, I'm going to look it up real quick because I read it before, is kind of stupid. He gave this movie a 4 out of 4, and he says, I'll find the quote, but he says something to the effect of, this movie is about the making of the movie, and that's why it's so good.
Huh?
Yeah,
At the inception of reviews.
apparently.
It's a review within the review, man.
It's a review of the review.
huh? I don't know. Maybe he was right. Again, he was riding that Tarantino wave because I remember like watching it and being like, huh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember like really disliking the film in the moment as much as I did when I watched it the second time.
Okay, so here's the quote. Kill Bill Volume 1 shows Quentin Tarantino so effortlessly and brilliantly in command of his technique that he reminds me of a virtuoso violinist racing through Flight of the Bumblebees, or maybe an accordion prodigy setting a speed record for Lady of Spain. I mean that as a sincere compliment. This movie is not about anything at all except for the skill and humor of making it. It's kind of brilliant.
So he's basically saying the story was terrible and it's useless and nobody cares. And
Yeah.
the coordination of it is so good that it's basically a movie on how to make a good action movie with no story.
Yeah, but is it? It's slow and boring at times.
I don't know.
I
It's
don't
an
know
interesting.
either.
That's an interesting review. It's
Yeah.
ambiguous enough to not be condescending, and
Mm.
it's also ambiguous enough to not be like insulting because he really didn't get much out of it.
Yeah.
And it's a Hollywood thing.
His point of
know.
view is kind of similar on the Maltese Falcon, being like, the story doesn't matter. This movie is about the style. I'm like, screw you. Maybe
Well-
Ebert just doesn't know what to say when he doesn't understand a movie, and he just
Maybe, but with Maltese Falcon, I can buy that in some way. That's what I loved watching them. I loved watching Bogart act through that. It was fun.
yeah.
I don't know if you'd say it. I mean, certainly in comparison, uplifting. It was very entertaining to watch the guy do what he was doing and enjoy the acting. It doesn't look like anybody's having fun, even the actors.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah.
So I'm going to go through some of the plot stuff. I got a lot of stuff
Okay.
to talk about after this, and this might be bad. Let's see, because it might just be all negative. But
Well, any other sort of general thoughts on the film, guys? I don't know, before we can go into more. I don't know. I mean, I don't want this episode to be, well, it might end up being kind of a downer episode when we all aren't too happy about a film, but
yeah.
I'm not. But the thing is, I'm not really angry at it either. I just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I still, like I said, I didn't dislike it. I just didn't get into it, or I don't know.
Let's see how you feel after some of the trivia there, TC.
All right, ruin it for me, Jenny. Let's
Yeah,
go.
let's
I
go.
love it.
I
I
love
love
hating
being
things.
negative.
Yes.
Misery loves company.
But in terms of the plot stuff, well, did you think that bleeping out her name added to any mystery?
No,
whatsoever?
I hated that actually. To
Yeah.
be honest, I couldn't believe it. I was like, why is this it's like has no bearing on this.
It's
Yeah.
kind of, it reminded me of the thing in Pulp Fiction where Uma Thurman kind of draws the square and you can see the square on the screen and it kind
Right.
of pops and you're like, why? What is that? Why would you do that? There's no answer.
I think it's just experimentation.
Yeah.
See if
yeah,
like
yeah.
a style sticks.
But why would you beep out the name and it's all meaningless? And that's kind of the point, maybe. Like it's just, it's fake, importance. It's
Look,
like
we
an
edited it
overhyped
down, and then
drama.
we thought if we just bleep the thing out, it might be a little bit more like interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe her name is Bill. Maybe she has to kill herself. I don't know. I got to watch the second one.
Yeah, you gotta tell me. You'll have to fill us in on the second one if you can, because I can't
it'll be
remember
my
it, so.
pleasure to do so.
Oh, great.
I think I like the second one though.
Kill
I don't
Bill
know.
2 is worse than this one.
Is
Because
it?
it doesn't have the sword fight scene. It's just
Oh.
more miserableness, and it's friggin' even like the acting is worse, and it's just worse.
Maybe I've also fooled myself into believing that I
because
like
everyone,
these
you
things.
can't. It's blasphemy to talk shit on Tarantino because he's
Yeah.
like the king of indie cinema and the king of like cool guy filmmakers.
Yeah,
And rightfully
I know.
so. I mean, again, some
He
of the
has
stuff
good
he's done
ones.
is fantastic.
Yeah,
So doesn't mean that he can't have a miss.
doesn't.
True.
Yeah, but people still like this one. It's still on the list. Like it made this list.
Yeah.
This list is, I mean, it might as well be anybody's list. Say, Denny, make a list. Here's top 250. There you go.
What do you want? Slashing movie,
Yeah.
Kill Bill. What do you want?
Yeah,
Dog movie?
sure.
You got Hachi
Oh,
on
we
there.
gotta
Yeah.
put in a horror. We gotta
Yeah.
put in a horror. You know, I
The
mean,
dog
really.
movie.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Gotta have
you
at
only
least
need
one
one
dog movie in there. Gold Yellow?
Hachi?
Nah.
Hachi?
Homeward Bound? Nah. Hachi.
We'll go
yeah,
Hachi.
Hachi.
Yeah. Oh, Hachi.
Oh, freaking Hachi.
Julie, if you're
Hachi.
listening, I'm sorry.
It is the gold. We have to have one gold standard terrible movie, and Hachi is the reigning king of this 50.
It's
Poor Hachi.
We'll get there. We'll have to figure that out soon.
Ooh.
Hachi's still waiting for a good list.
Oh, that's sad.
When she gets spit on, this is kind of trivia, and this is kind of a thing.
Oh, wait, I know this one. I know
Yeah.
this one. Tarantino insisted on doing it himself.
Yeah. What do you think about that, TC?
Wait,
You know when she gets
What?
a friggin' lunger on her face?
yeah,
It's
It's,
the
it's
director's spit.
Tarantino spitting on
That's-
Uma Thurman.
disgusting.
Yeah, it is. And he's
What's
the
wrong with him?
director. He's the director.
I know, but he was like, well, who else is going to do it?
Me, I
You have to-
wanted to.
yeah.
So
hire-
he's hanging out with Weinstein. He's like, dude, I just opened my robe when they come up the elevator. He's like, I'm gonna spit on Uma.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna, yeah, he's like, all right, do it.
Oh.
This is great.
I guess you
Fucking
could
guys.
fake it, right? So you could have some kind of machine spitter. I don't know, or just like
Or
somebody
just like
flings
another
soap on
person.
you.
At least it wouldn't be
Yeah.
the director.
Yeah.
Like, how
I don't know.
condescending is that? Like, hey, I'm the director. I'm gonna spit in your face.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And she also walked away with permanent injuries from this movie, which we'll talk about later. Which actually,
And you wonder why she was acting scared. She probably was the whole time.
yeah.
Maybe she was scared.
So no acting. So her acting job was terrible, actually, because she was actually legitimately scared.
Oh, fair
Right.
enough. I thought she was good. Did you guys think she was good? I thought
On and off.
yeah.
Like when she woke up and her baby was gone, I thought that was really good. But then the scene where
Really?
she's like talking to the mother when the kid is coming in, she's like, "Hey, baby," and you're like, "God damn it, this is so bad." This is
Oh,
Tarantino's
well.
fault. I blame Tarantino for it.
Yeah.
you
It's
hate
definitely-
Tarantino from now on.
I definitely don't, because Inglourious Bastards is like one of my favorite movies. But it just, you can tell it's him and his style seeping it. Like you know it's him. No one can
Right.
fake being Tarantino, you know. And he just, I don't know what he's doing. I just don't like what he's doing. Good for him. He's doing exactly what he wants. Very
Yay.
conflicted. Is Bill a pimp? What is Bill?
Bill is the leader of the deadly Viper
When
assassination
he like
squad.
sleeps with all of the women in the squad?
Did he? Did he sleep with?
He slept with like Daryl Hannah's character, right? Because he was like,
yeah, but
come back,
did he
baby.
sleep with Lucy Liu's character
Or
Vivica Fox?
not specified. But at the very least, he was sleeping with all the blondes in his group.
Oh, just the blondes.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah,
Huh.
I'm not sure.
mean, really?
Does 2 fill
Sounds
that
like a
in at
stand-up
all?
guy.
Like, does Volume 2 fill that in at all? Because I,
If
have
he's
no
a
idea. I have
pimp?
no idea. Like, no, yeah. Well, I don't know what their relationships were. I don't know why the bride was killed. I don't know any of that stuff.
Oh, so you want to go over that now? Pretty much. It's kind of stupid.
yeah, let's do that. Let's just figure that, solve that little mystery there.
So she figures out she's pregnant. She runs away, and Bill thinks she's dead. So he grieves for her for like 4 weeks or something like that. But then he figures out she's still alive, but she ran away to marry some other guy. And Bill did not. He felt betrayed, and he did not like the other guy, so he ordered the hit. Because he also didn't think the baby was his. He thought the baby was this new guy's.
Ah.
So he
Gotcha.
thought that she was cheating on him with this new guy the entire time.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
there's that. And this all comes to light in a long, like this, the second movie, half of it is a conversation, like one conversation between Bill and Beatrix or whatever, the bride or whatever you want to call her.
Mhm.
It lasts forever. It's not very good. A lot of the motivations come out and they don't make any sense. And it's so slow. And then I don't know.
Oh man,
I feel bad for
I
being so
tell you,
negative, but
I don't even want to watch the other one again.
don't.
Jeez.
It's not worth it. It's not good.
I mean, what do I know? I thought there were more than 2, so there you go.
Yeah. Well, there was supposed to be a third one, but I don't think Uma's going to be joining up a Tarantino movie anytime soon again.
Oh, what? There was talk of a third one?
Yeah. It was on his
Really?
IMDb page for a while, but it's not there right now as like a future
Huh.
project.
I have no idea. I had no idea. Where do you go?
I don't
Bill's
know. It was
dead.
supposed to be about like the daughter, and like
Coming back.
Oh.
coming back, and like her
Oh,
daughter
jeez.
is grown up too, sort of like all the kids grow up.
Oh, so then the daughter goes and kills all the other daughters?
No, I think the daughter of
It's a daughter slasher film.
Yeah.
cast. It'll be
great.
like cast with kids. You imagine this movie being more R-rated? Just have them all be like 10-year-old kids slashing each other.
Nice.
Just like
That
Battle Royale. Yeah.
sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
true.
Yeah. Yeah, whistling song. When she's doing the whistling song part, her buttons and belt on her jacket were magic markered on.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was
I
the
didn't
style.
notice.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the
Style.
point of that was.
Bleeding
Or
style.
maybe they just
Was
they were
it
just
trying
saying
to
that-
blend in with the uniform or something?
Yeah, or
they
she
didn't
like,
have
like she
buttons?
went and bought that at a costume store or something, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that it was just a cheap knockoff.
Your beautiful one eye.
I also thought him gripping the sword, it was kind of like someone gripping a pimp cane.
Oh,
I got a lot of pimp vibes from Bill.
all right, that's
Yeah,
fine.
that's all. Yeah, I had nothing else to back it up.
Who did they assassinate? By
Just
the way,
the vibe.
Yeah.
Who did the Deadly Viper assassination squad go after? What was their day? Kind of their meat and potatoes work. Were they like,
guys.
They're meat
Yeah.
and potatoes. What was their
Yeah.
day to day? What do you think?
Yeah.
They get in at 9? What do you think?
yeah? No idea. We don't
No
know.
clue.
Does
No
it
clue.
matter? Nope.
I know, but it was just
Didn't you
How
hear
did
that?
Lucy Liu know how to throw the dart or the knife or whatever that was?
The little
she
thing
really
with the
hear
feather on
them?
the top?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she really know?
she's got like
superhuman.
apparently.
yeah, super martial arts trained hearing ability.
So when you wield a sword really well, you can hear better.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering, I'm like, how did she know? Come on.
Also, don't you
I don't
think
buy
she would have survived a little bit? None of her brain was taken off in that slice. It was just the top part of her head. As long as you don't like shove anything into the top of your head, you'll be fine. It might be really painful, but you have your
There'd
brain.
be an enormous amount of blood.
But
at
there
that
wasn't any
point.
blood.
That's true.
I know, but if you cut your head in any
That would
shape,
be-
way,
yeah,
shape, or
that'd be
form, there's a
bleeding
lot
like
of blood
crazy. Is there?
usually.
Well, yeah, you.
But you ever
I mean,
gotten
it's-
your cut to your head? There's a lot of bleeding.
I've never. I
We
don't think
gotta
I've ever cut my
bleed
head
her.
before.
No, just
No.
watch wrestling. Remember all the wrestling thing? Cut the heads open.
Remember
Boom.
wrestling? Yeah.
Yeah, remember wrestling? They
Remember
fucking,
Back fun violence, unlike this kind of violence, wrestling.
Yeah,
WWF.
yeah, right. Like spray some beer all over somebody
Yeah.
and be like,
Throw a chair.
drop kick them. Come
Yeah.
on. Come on. At least you have fun. Feel great.
Take a shirt off, get all oily.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Hey, make a sign on some poster board, bring it in, have some fun.
Wear your Budweiser hat as a 10-year-old. Fun.
Fucking A.
Why does she play dead? It's a hospispecial. That's a good
I
question.
always like when you read your notes and you're confused.
Yeah,
by
I'm
the
like,
note.
what am I getting at here? What is this? That's a question I have. When she's in the hospital, she wakes up in a hospital, and then somebody comes in and she plays dead. Why would she do that? She doesn't know she's about to be raped. She's in a hospital. She'd be like, "Hey, I'm awake."
Because, she didn't know she was in a hospital. She could have been like being held captive by her enemies. Or
Wasn't there
something.
another person in a coma, like in the room?
Yeah, another enemy. Another, they can have more than one person
Bit of a stretch.
captive.
Bit of a stretch, Sean.
I don't know. Yeah, I know.
Bit of a stretch.
Trying.
Bit of a stretch.
That is a reasonable answer. I will.
It is actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
I
didn't
guess,
know where she was,
with,
so she
with
was
all that
suspicious.
martial arts training and superhuman hearing training, she probably knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was ballsy for
Buck likes to fuck.
Buck like, dude, speaking of that, it was ballsy for those two guys to be cast as those characters.
Right.
I can't imagine like having friends and being like, yeah, I was that guy in Kill Bill. And you're like,
I was
I
you,
was the
Buck.
coma rape guy.
yeah. Why would you
I mean,
do
it's
that?
acting.
didn't
I don't
really
think they
rape
look
her.
at
It's
it like that.
But,
Roll's a roll.
yeah, but not that role.
That's why,
Yeah, in a Tarantino film. So this guy was Buck was in Breaking Bad. He was Uncle Jack in Breaking Bad.
Oh.
Otherwise, he's been just kind of around TV shows.
Hmm.
Looks like.
Vaseline is gross. What do you guys think about the alleged foot fetish accusations that Tarantino has been receiving for this movie?
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't notice.
A lot of bare feet in this movie. A lot of Uma Thurman's weird looking toes.
I guess they did cut to the Lucy Liu there with her, whatever they call those. I don't know those things. Sandal look like.
Right.
Yeah.
There's the 789s who perform barefoot, which he thinks that they're just a great band.
Yeah.
Wait, he's like huge into fucking.
Well, he was doing
He's
like
huge into feet, huh?
he loves feet. Over an origin story, bloody anime, so bloody, so bloody. Why is it so bloody? This is disgusting. Yeah, those are my notes for part 3. Pretty much just going, why am I watching this? So how was your week, guys? You have a fun week? Positive notes.
Sure.
The sun's out today.
Yeah, we'll call it a fun week.
Did you notice she did the square movement too in this movie? She did the another movie where Uma makes a square with her finger.
Oh, no, I didn't see
No,
that. What one
where was that?
Yeah, it was, damn it, I forget. She was calling somebody a square, I think, again, but it didn't draw the square. She did the same exact movement. So that had to have been some Pulp Fiction throwback sort of thing. Did you notice the bowling pin noise during the fight with the ball on the chain?
Oh, really? No, I didn't
was there
notice
like
that.
a strike
Yeah,
noise?
somebody
kinda?
gets like
No
kicked
way.
into a table and like the table collapses and it's just like a straight up like strike, bowling pin
Oh,
strike
wow.
noise.
That's very observant.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that at all.
There's also 2 Wilhelm screams in that fight scene. I don't know if you guys know what Wilhelm screams are.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
John, do you?
Yeah,
You
is that
should.
it? Yeah, that one.
No, that's
Which was the
different
Wilhelm
one.
scream?
That
I think
one's-
we've
Oh.
talked about this on the podcast before.
Yeah. Most people only put it once in an entire movie. He puts it twice in the same scene. Must love that
Interesting.
Wilhelm.
You know, I didn't take any notes on this one, so I didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to any of that
My
shit.
notes are completely useless.
Hmm.
I like the water spout noise towards the end in the last scene. You know, in that little water spout, it's like doo doo.
Oh yeah, that was a nice touch.
Yeah.
It was a nice touch for the mood there. I liked the scene. Again, I liked sort of the way that set looked and everything towards the end. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Meh. Do you notice when they threw the lawyer out of the car and down the hill, she reaches the bottom of the hill and rolls like 30 more feet on the flat ground?
oh, just a lot of momentum there.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can tell the stunt person doing it is just rolling as far as they can on purpose. They're like throwing themselves across the ground. It's pretty funny. I think it was done on purpose. I think it's kind of humorous.
Probably. Yeah.
And the last note I had was that there were a lot of people on the planes with swords. You notice that? Whenever she was traveling somewhere, she
Yeah,
had a
yeah,
sword
that
out.
was kind of everybody had
Everybody
their
had
What,
own
no,
sword.
you
like,
guys don't travel with your swords?
They don't let that happen anymore,
this is
man.
pre 9/11,
Yeah.
But yeah, before then, everybody had a sword. Maybe in Okinawa, I don't know. But
So now that we
it's
got all
just-
the positive stuff out of the way, you guys ready to talk about Miramax and Harvey Weinstein in this movie?
Oh,
I didn't even think about all that.
Yeah. So I don't really want to talk about it too much. We can just mention that this movie, when they were filming it, the last 4 days before the end of shooting, Tarantino convinced against her will, which is kind of confusing because you think if it was against your will, you just wouldn't do it. But, you know, people are convincing.
you get pressured,
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's how Weinstein gets away with all this shit because you get pressured and you're afraid for your career and all this shit. He convinced her to do a stunt she felt very unsafe doing, which was involving driving a modified car through a windy, sandy road in Mexico for like a scene where she was supposed to be going to Kill Bill. You think you wouldn't have to describe that scene because the movie's called Kill Bill. You think the entire time she'd be going to Kill Bill, but this scene
Right.
specifically, she was on her way to Kill Bill. But she slid out, like spun. There's footage that just released it last month, which is crazy.
Wow.
Miramax and Tarantino were keeping it hidden from her because they didn't want her to sue them.
Tarantino says he wasn't. It was Miramax, not Tarantino.
Well, he was compliant.
according to him.
Well, if
Yeah.
you read the quote that Uma Thurman says, he was the one who broke the news to her, and he was using the word "we." He was like, "We decided this is what we're going to do."
Okay.
So it was him, and he's said different things. I mean, the whole thing is really
Right.
muddled, but the long and short of it is, they gave her back in like 2004 when she was trying to get the footage, or 2003. They gave her a note being like, "We'll give you the footage if you sign this thing that says you can't sue us." She was like, "Fuck
Right.
that! I'm not going to sign that."
Wow.
But since all these allegations have come out, they are like, I don't even know what the motivation is behind them releasing it. It's probably to kind of not be grouped in. It was like, all right, so Harvey Weinstein raped 85 people or whatever it was, and
Jesus
Tarantino
Christ.
was an asshole to Uma Thurman during the set of this. But Miramax is still a studio, and they're probably just like, we don't want our name dragged in any way because people will just read the headline being, which was kind of confusing because when I first saw this, John, you sent this to me like a month ago, I think. And I was like, I saw Uma Thurman and then Tarantino and then accusations and a headline. And I was like, God damn it, no.
Yeah.
And then
yeah,
I read it and I was like, oh, that headline is and whoever wrote that should be fired and like disbarred from journalism because people, and I'm guilty of this. I mean, every single person is guilty of reading a headline, not reading an article, right? And then retaining some of the information. So there's like a little responsibility you need, I think, in terms of writing a headline like that, especially now.
Well, it's all about clickbait, though.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
so I mean,
still,
that's
really
that's why they
what
did
want.
it for sure.
Right. It's intentional.
Yeah. But so, yeah, she hurt herself really bad. The footage is online now. It's not fun footage to watch. It's not as bad as you might think it is because there's no like blood or anything, but she's going pretty fast and she looks like she's in a lot of pain afterwards.
What excuse was there to not be using a stunt driver?
Good question. They didn't really specify. He really, I don't know. It's kind of a
you don't
close
even
up.
see her face.
You don't see her face.
You're behind her. You could get away with not.
That was her argument, but then Tarantino was being a whiny little. They argued for a while in her trailer apparently, and he ended up convincing her to do it. And then once she said yes, he said something like, "Oh, and make sure you're going 40 miles an hour so your hair looks right. If you don't go 40, we're doing it again."
The fuck?
And he also promised her that the car was safe, which it was not. And he also promised her the roadway was straight, which it was not.
And it was not.
Yeah.
But he also
real
decided
slimy
last minute
move, huh?
for her to drive on another side of the road, than a different side than he had tested or something like that too.
So none of that. But then, I mean, you read a lot of things where I can see before an accident being like, I want to get this good shot. This is going to be my freaking best movie ever. People have to make sacrifices. Like people get in danger making movies all the time. He didn't like force. I mean, I don't know. He didn't physically force her to do it. So there's something there. And he feels really bad about it now, even though he was on the side of the people that were keeping the footage away from her.
Right. Until recently.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all very tricky to maneuver.
Tricky situation.
I don't think it's enough to make me not want to like watch another Quentin Tarantino movie whenever he comes out with the next one. But
and let's be honest, it's a lapse in good judgment and some weird ego shit rather than like disgusting sexual shit like at the other assholes.
No, and it's hard. Like, I mean, he says himself. I mean, I don't know. He doesn't know. He's not his own best defendant, though. But I mean, he said he knew enough to know what was going on with Harvey, for example.
She knew that too, and she didn't say anything.
True.
But,
I think a lot of people knew.
How many
trying
people
to get
did?
their it's their lives too.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know if your whole career depends on keeping your mouth shut. There's quite a lot of people. I mean, including myself, that would probably put up with a lot.
People that weren't okay with it would just leave Miramax, or they wouldn't work with him again. They wouldn't say anything.
They also sign stuff a lot too that says they can't.
I think only like 5 of the 85 people that have accused Weinstein were paid off. And there were a lot of other people that weren't, and nobody listened to them.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's no good. It is a shit show. It's an awful situation.
Yeah, thank God for that New York Times article. It's kind of fucked up how like I don't even know how that article took off. It just was a popular article.
I don't know.
Something.
It's got important people in the.
They already had all these people that already like wrote books about it. They came out like decades before about him.
Right.
And it was well known within the industry. Like, what the hell?
I mean, there's been quite a bit of movement across the board against that stuff. So maybe that's all. It finally
just the right time.
Yeah.
You think Bill Cosby might have been a factor?
I mean, started with our boy R. Kelly, right, John?
The most famous man on the planet.
Fuck off. Oh, I was listening to that episode last week and I was enjoying it because I thought it was a pretty good one. And then I got to that part and I was like, oh, I'm so old and out of touch.
Yeah. But it was one of the funniest parts of the episode. So
whatever. It's all for, it's all worth it.
I sacrificed my dignity for the comedy. That's right.
There are literally thousands of other people you could have said except for R. Kelly.
Shut up. All right, let's not dwell. Let's let it end, please.
It's funny.
Anyway.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be said about this stuff. I don't know if it's not very two-sided with the Harvey Weinstein stuff. The Tarantino stuff, I guess he's an asshole and he's a creep. He's not a rapist, at least as far as anybody has come out and said. So
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Or is it bad too? Or is everything fine as long as you're not a rapist now? Is that the
true, right? Like, where's the threshold? Once that kind of, I know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think Hollywood's full of weird people.
Yeah.
I think that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Well, or people are weird.
Yeah. And people are weird here in creative ways that other people see. So it's like, a lot of other weird people, they just go about their corporate job and they just stay weird underneath and no one knows.
Yeah. And I mean, being an actress in Hollywood has got to be fucked up. Like, so Uma Thurman actually went to the same high school that I grew up on and went to.
Wow.
She went there for 4 years, didn't graduate because she was a terrible student. And then she ended up leaving and going to New York right afterwards, where the year she moved there, she was trying to become an actress and was raped by somebody over 20 years older than her, like the first year she was there, which fucked her up forever. She's been assaulted multiple times. So the Weinstein thing, there's a whole really good article in the New York Times that came out February 3rd, I think, this year. It's pretty recent. She came out. All this stuff is still happening, which is crazy too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's worth reading because she blames herself for a lot of it, which is, I don't know what it is. Still thinking about it. It's weird.
Shitty.
Yeah.
That could be like,
You're in
that could be bad. It's long-term, long-term stuff.
Yeah, but this is, I don't know. This is your dream. You want to be the star. You want to be the good actress. You want to, you're going to put up with a lot to get that,
Well, let's be honest. I mean, women have been putting up with a lot from men for so many years
forever.
Too. So,
yeah.
But, the pendulum's swinging, but there's still going to be quite a bit more of this stuff coming out.
Yeah. But so, yeah, that's it for that, I think.
Womp, womp, womp. Oh,
TC,
God.
would you put the... Oh, wait, Timmy never gets to go. Timmy, what would you say?
Timmy, what did you think, Timmy?
Don't feel like doing the Timmy voice?
Not even Timmy.
There's better action
Good
movies
point.
in this, I think.
Good point.
There definitely is better action movies and there's better Tarantino movies. John, what would you say?
Nah.
Nah, this is easy. Sometimes I don't even have to ask the question, but I have to because the formality.
Yes.
The format says, ask the question.
Exactly. I'm not looking forward to this next one, you guys. 2014 Gone Girl, directed by David Fincher.
Ah, fuck.
With his wife's disappearance having become the focus of an intense media circus, a man sees the spotlight turned on him when it's suspected that he may not be innocent.
God, I hate this one.
Nice. I also dislike it. John, have you seen it?
I have seen it, yes.
I hate this one because it's too intense. It's too much.
Back to back with Kill Bill. It's going to be
and
brutal.
It's just like, fuck. This one, it makes me so uncomfortable.
Yep.
Then you start thinking like, is everyone like this? Everyone's like this? Like it could be?
That could be good.
God.
Maybe it is good.
Yeah, that means that's like well done then.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Run with that.
We'll see what happens on the second watching here.
Yeah. Maybe I'll try and take notes this time. I don't fucking know. Distract myself.
Read the
from
book.
I've heard the book is pretty good. My coworker said he hasn't seen the movie, but he has watched the book. Read the book.
I watched the book. You did?
I would doubt that.
He didn't watch the book. He read the book.
I put it on my countertop and watched it for about 3 hours.
Yeah, it was a good one. I didn't make it past page 5. Watch the book.
Watch the book. And to end this dreary, grim episode, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Go to our website. Listen to other episodes where we don't necessarily shit talk the movies that you like because people like this one. Sorry. Mission250filmcast.com is the website. We have the older episodes there. You can email us at mission250filmcast@gmail.com. Rate and subscribe on iTunes. Maybe don't do that this week. Don't give us a 1-star. Don't do it. Like and follow on Twitter.
They wouldn't have made it this
Facebook.
far, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with like an artist, and now it makes me feel. All
right, guys, watch this movie and enjoy. All right,
yes.
We'll see you next week.
Yes, I'm gonna go watch
All right, guys.
Little Mermaid right now just to clean myself.
Yeah. Where's the Jungle Book?
Yeah. Thank you. Good night.
All right.
Yeah.
Guys.
Hey, guys.
Stop